ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುಭ್ಯೋ ನಮಃ. ದುರುಳ ಕೀಚಕ ತಾನು ದ್ರೌಪದಿಯ ಚೆಲುವಿಕೆಗೆ ಮರುಳಾಗಿ ಕರೆಕರೆಯ ಮಾಡಲವನ ಗರಡಿ ಮನೆಯಳು ಬರಸಿ ಅವನನ್ವಯವ ಕುರುಪನಟ್ಟಿದ ಮಲ್ಲ ಕುಲವ ಸದೆದ. In this episode, in this one padya itself, Sripadarajaru has brought the entire concept of Kichakavada. When the Pandavas were in exile, when they were disguised as other people because they were living in Ajnatavasa where they shouldn't reveal their own identity, it was then this incident of Kichaka troubling Draupadi due to the lust that he had was clearly explained in Mahabharata, and Bhimasena reacting to it by destroying Kichaka, and this Kichaka Vada, the destruction of Kichaka and his brothers, is beautifully portrayed in this padya. So we'll first see the word meaning to it. Durula Kichaka. Durula, the padya itself starts by saying the nature of Kichaka. He was an evil person. Now you may ask me, who was Kichaka? Well, when the Pandavas were in exile during their Ajnatavasa, when they decided that they shouldn't reveal their identity because that was the rule that they were given to, they entered the Virata Nagara, the city of Virata Raja, and there each one of them disguised as a particular other person and lived there. And in one of them, Draupadi was in the form of a helper to the queen of Virata Nagara. Her name was Sudeshna. This queen of city of Virata had a brother whose name was Kichaka. So Sudeshna's step brother was Kichaka. That is why Kichaka had an upper hand with which he could easily trouble Draupadi. Now here Bhimasena took the role of a cook and he didn't reveal his identity too. So this Kichaka, who had 105 brothers, be it Kichaka or his brothers, they were step brothers of Sudeshna, who is none other than the queen of Virata Nagara. Now this Kichaka, he didn't enter the city of Virata until 10 months. These Pandavas were in Virata Nagara. So they were happily living there, one as a cook, one as a helper to the Rani. But at the time of 10th month when they were there, they should be there for 2 more months. At that time, it was Kichaka who actually went on hunting somewhere else and then came back to his sister Sudeshna, the queen of Virata Nagara. Coming there, he saw Draupadi. Immediately he was just attracted and immersed and was filled with lust with the beauty of Draupadi, which is mentioned in the next 2 words. Durula Kichakata Draupadiya Cheluvikege. The beauty of Draupadi has been mesmerizingly explained in Mahabharata. Mahabharata says that Draupadi had an inherent beauty, not a beauty that comes due to any tapashakti or any vara, boon or a curse, etc. It was an inherent beauty that she had. Of course, she would be having it. She comes in ladies, she comes next to Mahalakshmi. It is Mahalakshmi who is a lady first, and then Vayu, Brahma Vayu, and then comes Saraswati and Bharati. Draupadi is none other than the incarnation of Bharati. So Bharati has an inherent beauty, the Swabhavika beauty that she had made Kichaka lose his mind completely, that he started to torture Draupadi, which is explained in the next line. Marulagi kareya madalavana. Marulagi, by completely immersed in his beauty, he wanted to marry Draupadi. He went and asked the queen, who was his sister, to give Draupadi in exchange of marriage. But the queen of Virata Nagara, she didn't allow it. Also, here Jagadguru Sri Madhwacharya gives us a beautiful perspective that we all should understand. Draupadi, while entering Virata Nagara and asking for a job to Sudeshna, the queen of the Nagara, the queen of the Nagara, Sudeshna, was itself immersed by the beauty of Draupadi, and the queen says, no, I can't have such a beautiful woman in my Antapura. This will make many men lustful. But then Draupadi says, do not worry. A lot of people will not be able to see me. I will be invisible to many of them. But here, even though Draupadi knew that Kichaka had an evil mind, she made herself visible in front of Kichaka when first Kichaka came to visit his sister. This is because throughout the story of Mahabharata you can find out how Draupadi, by bringing out the intention of bad people, may become a primary reason behind the destruction of those people. So this Kichaka, who was completely filled with lust, started to torture Draupadi. Once his level of torture literally benched the mark saturation point. He once grabbed her hand and with so much of sadness and couldn't tolerate this incident, Draupadi just shook her hand off Kichaka and started to run to the palace of Viratanagara. But then Kichaka, he didn't leave her. He started to follow her. At one place, Kichaka pushed Draupadi down and he kicked her with his feet. And this made Draupadi feel very low because she felt humiliated at this incident, and that night she went to the kitchen and complained to Bhimasena. Bhimasena consoled Draupadi and says, do not worry, I will find a way, which is described in the next line. Garadi manayolu barasi avananvayava. Here Bhimasena says, you do a thing, Draupadi. Ask that evil Kichaka to come and meet you at the Garadi Mane, the place where dance, the practice, everything takes place, in the Natya Shala. And Draupadi did as Bhimasena told. In night, when there was no one, Bhimasena, even before Kichaka came to that hall, he hid silently in that hall. And as said by Draupadi, hearing and believing the words of Draupadi, Kichaka came there. And when Kichaka entered, and he immediately started to talk ridiculously how a person shouldn't talk to a woman. And hearing those words, Bhimasena, who was furious with anger, he pounced upon Kichaka and made all his body parts as a ball, as just a spherical shape, and kicked and put it in the ground and smashed it and destroyed Kichaka. But when Kichaka's destruction took place, that too for a woman, here there were brothers of Kichaka, as I mentioned, 105 of them who came to fight with Bhimasena, and Bhimasena destroyed all of them too, which is what here Sripadarajaru says, Avananvaya. Anvaya means Vamsha, the lineage. So all the brothers of Kichaka, along with Kichaka, the entire family lineage was destroyed by Bhimasena. But what was the result of this? This news of Bhimasena killing Kichaka spread like a forest fire everywhere, because it was Bhimasena who was the strongest recognized, and then after Bhimasena there comes only 2 other people, and after that comes Kichaka. The Mahabharata itself says it was Bhimasena, Balabhadra, Shalya. These 3 are very strong. They are known for their strength. After that, in the 4th place comes Kichaka, and Mahabharata says that there is no 5th person who can literally equal their strength. In that case, when the news of Kichaka's death, that too for a woman, it spread like wildfire, Duryodhana heard this news, and immediately Duryodhana was suspicious of the fact that it could have been Bhimasena who killed Kichaka. Because Duryodhana knew the beauty of Draupadi, and how can a man lose himself in the beauty of Draupadi? And here Bhimasena, who is the husband of Draupadi, Duryodhana knows the strength of Bhimasena too. So immediately guessed that the one who had killed Kichaka should have been Bhimasena. But how to find out? That is when Duryodhana makes a plan. He sends a king who was a neighbor to the Viratanagara. This king, the name of this king is Trigartha Raja. this is a kingdom which is very near to Viratanagara, and the king of this kingdom is Susharma. This king was sent by Duryodhana to kidnap the cows from Virata kingdom. So when this kidnap happened, Duryodhana thought that Virata Raja will come to fight with Susharma. I can then go and support Susharma and fight with Virata Raja. So when such a war takes place, those people who are hiding in the kingdom of Virata Raja, who are actually Kshatriyas, they won't sit quietly. They will definitely come and support Virata Raja, who has actually given them place for all these months. So thinking of this, Duryodhana sends Susharma, and Susharma goes to Viratanagara and he kidnaps the cows. In reciprocation, Virata Raja, as thought by Duryodhana, he comes to fight with Susharma and a war breaks out there. Duryodhana comes in support of Susharma and Virata Raja too fights with Susharma. There Dharmaraja calls and says to Bhimasena, Bhimasena, we are in exile. I know that we should hide our identity, we shouldn't expose it. But we are Kshatriyas. It is our Swadharma to support the king now, especially for a king who has actually given us place for all these months. And immediately hearing this news, Bhimasena was very happy that he is going to fight. He is going to observe his Swadharma and goes and fights in a war. There breaks out a war where the Susharma and his men were completely vomited and destroyed by Bhimasena, and Virata Raja again possesses victory there. And this is explained in the final line of the Padya, where Kurupa Nattida, Kurupa, the one who is the king of the Kuru Vamsha, Duryodhana, what he thought that the one who destroyed Kichaka was Bhimasena, and what he did, Malla Kulava Sadida. So he sent a Malla. Malla means a wrestler. This Susharma was a great wrestler. And when he was sent, his entire Kula, his entire lineage was destroyed. Sadeda was destroyed by Bhimasena, says this beautiful Padya. And from this, the next Padya describes one more beautiful Parakrama that Bhimasena showed, which we'll see in our next episode. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.